cirrhosis, and that was terrible.
All right, so MS. What
She's
is it?
slowly on the way, right?
For those of you that know somebody with it, what's it like? Yeah.
You would
My
caretaker
stepmom,
too.
it's just the left side, so she can still drive, because her right side's fine, but like when she walks, she has like a limp, and then her left hand's kind of like cringling up a little bit, and she like isn't able to move it like she is her right side.
How long has she had it?
A while.
A while.
I think she was like 30 something.
And now she's like 50 something.
She wasn't OB-GYN, but she was retired because of it. Because, yeah.
So she's an OB/GYN doc and had to retire?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? That's great. Yeah?
The people I know, I just know them from church. So it's husband and wife have it, both.
Both?
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
I know.
Are they like Alaska or something?
No, Oregon, yeah,
Oregon?
in Oregon.
That doesn't fit with my theory.
No, they're not related.
Did they like meet at like an MS convention or something?
No, they're Mormon. So,
They're Mormon?
Still, I mean, did they like, that's the odds. That's kind of odd. I would think. Huh, it's because they're Mormon. Okay, yeah.
I have a story, but I was just curious, since it's an autoimmune component, is it more commonly found in females, or is it more, I heard that this actually was more commonly found in males. Oh, it's on there? Sorry. I think it was more-
Says females.
Females, yep, okay. Think right, good.
You can Google that, you never know. It might have changed.
My friend, his mother had MS, and I know since the genetic component, they were, I guess personally in his case, it is like a 90% chance that he will develop it, so. I was just curious.
so what would that mean for their kids? Like,
What?
would it mean for their kids? Because both of them have it.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
How long does it take for like the symptoms to
Okay.
I know this one lady, I don't know how long she's had it for, but she doesn't have any symptoms of it.
And how she even know she has it?
Well, because she did like all those tests to get, because she like was sick or something, but she doesn't have any like bruises in her hand, her body's fine, she walks fine. But it's eventually, they said it's eventually gonna progress, they just don't know how long.
All right, since we're on that, let's look at these because these are how it progresses, okay? You got 4 different mechanisms or ways that it progresses, and that's these, okay? 90% of people do it this way, where they have, if yellow is a bad day, they'll have a bad day, then have a good day, then have a bad day, and a good day, and a bad day, but eventually it gets worse and worse and worse, all right? This one just gets worse and worse and worse. Never gets any good days. This one is a combination of both. And this one is kind of the bad days on top of the worse ones as it's getting worse. But 90% of the people are like this. As far as the time goes, that seems to be highly variable in people because when you say a while, that's how long people have MS. 20, 30, 40 years. People don't die from MS right away. I can't imagine there are a lot of statistics on if somebody has MS but without symptoms, how long it takes to kick in, because that's a fluke that you even figure that out in the first place, right? They were looking for something, found out she had MS, but that wasn't the symptoms. Although she must have had something or they wouldn't have. Again,
I don't know how they diagnosed
that
it.
electrophoresis is kind of a specific thing. I mean, I don't know why you would do that unless you thought somebody had MS.
No. Oh, I think they did like tests and then like everything came back, so I think, I'm
No,
not
it is-
exactly sure exactly how.
It is entirely possible that she had some symptoms.
Yeah.
Somebody thought, oh, well, I wonder if that's MS. It was very, very early. They confirmed, yes, you have MS. And she may have changed some things in her life that made it never really come. As far as clinically speaking goes, MS is just, again, it's one of those weird things. Autoimmune diseases are bizarre, right? One, they shouldn't exist. Your body should not attack you. Okay? There is a genetic predisposition to most autoimmune diseases, as in, if you have the gene, then you might get MS. You're more likely to get MS if you happen to have that gene. Even looking at identical twins, if one of them gets MS, then the other one, who literally has the exact same DNA, has a 30% chance of getting MS. There's no guarantees either way, but that's pretty high. So that definitely says.
One twin has it.
Okay, so yeah, MS, like every autoimmune disease, is incredibly difficult to predict with any accuracy on whether somebody's going to get something or not. But again, with any disease, there are certain things that you can do, regardless of what the disease is. It might improve your chances. So I don't know. That's that person that, you know, maybe as soon as they found out they had MS, they started going to the gym every day and eating only healthy foods.
Yeah, she lost a lot of weight. Like, she lost a lot of weight and, well, she was a heavy drinker, so she stopped drinking.
Okay.
But those are the two major, like,
Yeah. Now, the one guy that I personally know that has MS, he was actually in the Air Force Academy, which meant he was physically perfect, and he got MS. It's just one of those things. Autoimmunes are weird, but as a general rule, if you diet, exercise, you can get a long way in a lot of things. Right? Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't work. In fact, my sister, who had a heart attack last week, 45 years old, she's been going to the gym every day since she was 16. She's one of those people that don't miss, ever. She only eats healthy things. Now, I'm like chopping down cheeseburgers and stuff, and she's eating a Greek salad, you know?
Does
And
she have
gets a heart attack.
Does she have a really high stress level?
She was married to a narcissist for
So yes.
25 years.
So yes.
And divorced him about 6 months ago.
Okay.
And then had a heart attack.
So it's just a long time coming.
So anyway, what else?
Wait, why is it away from the equator?
That's a really good question. Statistics are funny. They have shown statistically that the further somebody lives away from the equator, the higher incidences of MS they have per population. Therefore, there's a lot of research going on that is studying things like, well, maybe vitamin D deficiencies, right? Because the sun hits that cholesterol in your skin, converts it into a whole calcidiol, calcitriol, which is activated vitamin D in the kidney and all that, right? So there's a lot of research going on about maybe vitamin D deficiency causes it. But then, they may not be realizing that in Arizona, we have a very high population that have low vitamin D.
I believe it.
Because
Everyone's outside.
it's too stinking hot to go in the sun, right? So we don't go in the
So you know
sun,
what Mark Twain said?
except like half the year, I guess.
Their
But
lives, their goddamn
we don't have
lives,
increased
and they never see
incidences
it.
of MS though
I like
in Arizona. So on
I
the
got
other
that
hand,
from Mark Twain.
nobody's from Arizona, so maybe that's throwing it off. I mean, literally, like, I swear, most people I know are not actually from here. They kind of came here from somewhere else. You are, right? No,
Are you
you're
from
not.
Arizona? I'm from
You're a
Arizona.
homegirl.
College though, like, it's not a good basis.
No.
But then I guess there's also snowbirds.
Where am I from?
Utah.
Starts with an M.
Minnesota. Missouri.
Guatemala?
See, that starts with an M. Mexico.
I'm just kidding.
Mongolia. No. Mogadishu.
First 10 years of my life, I lived in Detroit. You know Eminem and the whole.
Oh, shit, I said
Knew it.
We were homeboys.
I
I didn't know.
It was in Michigan.
But yeah, so
Then get the
there.
fuck out.
But then after that, we moved to.
I live in Joliet.
Joliet. So that's like the hood in Chicago. They got prison there. Blues Brothers, isn't that where they went? Joliet prison?
Well, it was Plainfield, but nobody knows about Plainfield, so I was in
Oh, okay.
Joliet.
But we have a trend.
All right, fine, you were. I think nobody comes out of Joliet.
Ever, but you know, you have no rights. But then again, you're in prison, so whatever.
Anyway. How far was that for me? I don't know. I was a little kid. Okay. Sorry, I'm moving on. Okay, so to clarify what's happening, like it said in that video, right? You are demyelinating those axons, and you're eating in and causing hardening. Sclerotic or sclerosis means hardening, right? So atherosclerosis, hardening in the arteries, right? Hardening and scarring of the axons because you're eating through the myelin is MS, and you can see that. Okay? Can you see the little white things? Or those little plaques that you can see? Okay? By the way, that's IgG, those bands, those protein bands. That's actually IgG. Is anybody familiar with, somebody said they were familiar with electrophoresis?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay, basically how this works is that there's a gel, right? And you put the gel in this little thing, kind of looks like an ant farm kind of contraption. Yeah. Yeah, if you have micro lab, it's probably different, right?
Yeah.
Where you got a charge, a positive charge, a negative charge, and proteins, depending on their size, that's how fast they go to one of the poles, right? How fast they race is based on how the size is, based on the electricity going through and pulling. Well, IgG gets a very specific, and we all have IgG, right? But one of our immunoglobulins. But you get a very specific pattern. It's banned in MS that doesn't look like normal. Okay? So that's why 90% of people that have MS have those IgG oligoclonal bands, which means 10% of people with MS don't have them. And also, there are some people with them that don't have MS.
So it's just like indicative, like it's just
Okay?
to consider.
Okay, so again, I asked you guys about some of the signs and symptoms, what they look like. Anyway, so you can see you have some nerve issues, because that's what's being affected, right? So you have nerve issues, whether that's in hearing, or vision, or swallowing, weakness, paralysis, okay? One of you can Reagan explain like a hand's kind of cramped up, that's pretty classic. Okay? That's going to be different than when we start talking about ALS. Okay? And there's fine differences between ALS and MS. Okay? Obviously, we don't have time to go into ALS today, but we will. ALS, again, I'll just kind of start this. It hits the upper and lower motor neurons.